we decided to do this subject tonight, and it stemmed from a story published by Pro Publica and another organization. I think it's called the Invisible Institute. And they did a story about Alexis Byrd Maxey. She suffered sexual harassment at the Chicago Police Academy as a cadet. Had her mom spend thousands of dollars on equipment and uniforms. Had to, change her schedule in terms of when she would pick up her son, and people had to help her with that, and she was doing pretty good until this thing occurred. And after it occurred, and she reported it, she faced a wall of lies when she tried to report what was done to her. And she was fired from the Chicago Police Academy. So we wanted to talk about her story, but we wanted to use that as a beginning point, if you will, and expand this conversation to talk about Black women and cops and abuses, and basically point out that if one of their own is not safe, who's a Black woman? What does that say for what's going on? How deep are these problems? How much, for example, have they cost the city of Chicago, which already has a huge, I got to look up the year, but I'll look up the years to give you the years, but over this, I don't know if it's a 10-year or 12-year span, the city of Chicago has paid out like $1 billion, $1 billion in police settlements. But they're talking about they can't fund the teacher's pension. They can't fund schools. They got these deficits. But every year, millions of dollars they pay out. And this is just the general misconduct, wrongful conviction, planning evidence, wrongful shootings. And many of these perpetrators, they end up being serial perpetrators. I'm talking about now the problem of police misconduct in Chicago. And in particular, we decided to get into this space because there was a Black woman who was in that academy who was sexually harassed. She reported it. She was fired.
Right.
The people, her quote unquote, should have been her comrades. They closed ranks against her.
Right.
Listen to this. They closed ranks against her, and she was in the academy. So they weren't even able. Now check this out. They weren't even. I'm not going to say able. Chicago Police Department, was unwilling to even discipline. I want you to think about this. They were unwilling to discipline a cadet for abusing a Black woman who was his fellow cadet. And it ended up, of course, they targeted her. It ended up that she was fired from the academy, which had really been a dream of hers. So we start there, and we wanted to bring that out as we begin this conversation, giving you some background, trying to wait for a few more people to enter the room. If you can also message people and let them know that we're in here, and we'll try to get some people in. But while we're waiting, Brother BJ, since
Yes, sir.
we're in this new space, why don't you take a few minutes and talk about what Straight Words is, what we do, and a little bit about our history.
All right, so brothers and sisters, welcome to the show tonight. This is a little bit new for us. We have been broadcasting for the last 2 years on WVON 1690, the Black Talk station in Chicago. And we ended that relationship last week, and we decided to go on Twitter Spaces. So this is our second go around, just doing a digital product and getting everybody kind of used and acclimated to listening to us on the Twitter Spaces as we grow. Let me tell you a little bit about the background of the hoster on this show. Very prolific journalist from the city of Chicago and nationally. Brother Nabar Richard Muhammad, who you just got through listening to, is the editor-in-chief of the Final Call newspaper. He is a prolific writer, NABJ award winner, and just overall great editor for the last decade and a half of working for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan as the editor of the Final Call newspaper. And Brother James G. Muhammad is a former editor, now a contributing editor of the Final Call newspaper. Mentor Brother Nabai, and we call him the conscious voice of our program. And I'm Brother BJ. I'm a radio host based in Charlotte, North Carolina. And we've been coming together for 2 years, like I said, and we need your financial support as we continue to grow our show. You can go to our website, straightwords.com, and you can find out how you could make a donation to us digitally any way you.
Brother BJ.
Yes, sir.
No, give him the actual information, man. We ain't got to say go to the website.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, you're right.
Give him the actual facts, baby. Thank you.
Okay. He's right. I got to get used to that. So what you can do is go to Straight Words on, Cash App, Straight Words on
$sign. Wait, BJ. $sign. Don't rush it now.
All right.
$sign. Straight Words on Cash App. $sign. Straight Words on Cash App. Go ahead, sir.
That's right. So we got PayPal as well, so you can do it on PayPal.
Wait, BJ.
Well, I forgot. I done forgot the information.
No, you go ahead.
You go ahead. No, you go ahead because I forgot. I must have forgot.
Okay. Oh, no problem. So you can go to, because brothers and sisters, even though we're no longer paying for airtime, we still have expenses. And we're looking to grow this Twitter space, continue to grow it, continue to build independent media, continue to give our people light, life, and power.
Right.
So you can help us by going to Cash App, and the Cash App handle is $sign Straight Words, and we'll put that in the chat, but it's $sign Straight Words on Cash App. On Zelle, it's 312-480-9775. On Zelle, 312-480-9775. On PayPal, you can send your help, donation, or subscription, whatever you want to call it. You can send it to Straight Words and the number 4 at gmail.com. This is for PayPal. Straight Words and the number 4. Straight Words with an S. Straight Words 4 at gmail.com. And if you got Apple Pay, you can send it to, not Apple Pay, Apple Cash. If you have Apple Cash, okay? If you have Apple Cash, you can send your support 312-480-9775. So I'll put that in the chat as well. But Brother BJ, let's give the room a couple more minutes of background, And then, we'll be ready to get started with our incredible guest and this incredible topic.
Yes, sir. So we got our brother James G. Muhammad, who's standing by. Brother James G, can you pipe in now?
Yes, salam alaikum, everybody.
Walaikum
And
salam.
Brother BJ, I'm with you, man. I don't forgot all that as well, bro. You know, it's been so
Hey,
long that we could have said it,
right. It was like
But
about a year. I forgot all about what he was giving it out. But yeah, that's correct. That's just to give a little background, WVON would not let us do a direct solicit on the radio, so we had just been giving out the website. So I forget all that information. But thank you, brother Naba, for making that clear to us, so we can have a direct line to our brothers and sisters. But go ahead, brother James G.
oh yes, sir. No, I would just reiterate what you were saying, brother. You know, we just got on this platform. It's new. It's exciting as we move forward. And this topic um, is very important. So I'm hoping that we can get more people in, because this is critical that we hear the voices of the young ladies that's going to be uh, giving us information, and I'm looking forward to it. But let's get rolling, brother, and you know turn the fire on and put the pot on the oven so we can get it cooking.
All right, so brother Naba, we about ready to get into our conversation.
Okay.
And we got some special guests that are standing by, ready to contribute to this great conversation about this thing that happened to our sister Alexis Byrd Maxey.
Yeah, and they're going to be expanding that beyond her into what is happening with these abuses of black women. I see it as a crisis because it's happening more and more, I think. It's getting more blatant, it's getting more dangerous. But I think the problem, or the reality of when you will not protect a member of your own department who's a black woman, then what black woman in the world stands a chance? And we've got some great panelists, because brothers and sisters, we're looking to offer you, and we're looking to offer you incredible, fact-based, solidly opinion-based as well, information. That's what we want to do. We're not here to rant. We're not looking for all that smoke. We're looking to impart light, life, and power. So we got our guest right now. I want you got to hear from Sister Cariol Horne. She's a former Buffalo, New York police officer. Now check this out. Who was driven off the force for stopping a handcuffed black man, from being choked by a white cop. You hear that?
Yes, sir.
Somebody said George Floyd needed Cariol Horne when he was killed.
That's
So
right.
she was and she was man, all kinds of stuff. But she continues to fight for our people and continues to be targeted. I'm going to leave it there because I want Sister Cariol to tell you her story, and it is incredible. Then we have the Reverend Corinne Knack, who has served as a leader within many organizations and still leads Charlotte Mecklenburg NAACP, North Carolina NAACP State Conference, TWU Local 100, TWU International Executive Board, North Carolina Black Leadership Caucus, PAC, Charlotte Clergy Coalition, Charlotte Central Labor Council, Charlotte APRAI, Nassau Correctional Facility Climate Reality and Justice First. She is based in North Carolina as well. So, Sister Cariol, I want you to know and I want you to feel how honored we are to have you with us because when people talk about heroes and good cops and servants of our people, I mean, fearless servants of our people, your face should be right there. So, Sister Curiel, I want you to just start with your story, and we can start with the basic fact which you know about. If police departments won't protect black female officers that are supposed to be their comrades, notice I said supposed to be comrades, but they don't. What does that say about what any black woman can face? And I want you to feel free to tell your whole story because there's so much to it. I don't want you all to miss not one word. Sister Cariel, go ahead. I think if you can unmute, or do I need to unmute you?
I just did.
Okay,
I just did it. And I'm sorry that my voice is messed up because I got a cold.
that's okay.
But
Take your time. Take your time.
okay. So, like you said, I was a police officer in the city of Buffalo, New York, um, in 2006. And even though that was 2006, what is this? Almost 20 years later,
Yes.
still relevant now because it keeps happening. Um, but then, like you said already, there was a cop that was choking a white cop choking a black handcuffed man. And I just say that it was a white cop because it was a white cop. But now it's black cops that are also doing the
Mm,
same thing.
mm-hmm.
So then I stopped them, and in 2016, it kept happening.
Mm,
On the news. Well, it wasn't in 2016 that it kept happening. It kept happening. Period.
mm,
From 2006. But then we started getting more video of it, and 2016, I just decided, what's going to stop them? I said they're always locking us up for something. So maybe if I make a law, then that'll stop them.
mm,
So I wrote the law. Didn't know how, it was pretty much chicken scratch, but I knew what I wanted in there. Um, and I didn't know how to get it passed. It wasn't until George Floyd got murdered, that I was able to talk to someone and basically had people. There were people that rallied behind Cariol's law, which is a law here in the city of Buffalo now, which is the duty to intervene. Um, so 8 of the 9 council people voted for it. The mayor, they basically went back and forth, like they didn't want it to be named after me, but the people pushed that it be named after me, and so it is Cariol's law. It's actually Cariol's law, duty to intervene. But either way it goes, um, it's not being used. So that is one of the issues. There's still being People are still being killed by the police, even here in Buffalo,
mm,
and even one is about to get a award. I mean, he probably got it already. I'm not sure, but whenever you do a car stop, you're supposed to make sure that the person shuts off the vehicle.
mm.
But in this case, this cop decided he was going to reach in. First of all, didn't have him turn off the vehicle. Decided to reach in, and the guy pulled off, and so then he killed him. And there was also a child in the car.
Wow.
So now, like, he's getting an award to say, "Oh, like, great job," but that's not a great job because he didn't follow procedures. If had he followed procedures, the car never would have been on in the first place. In order for the guy to pull off, and anyway, that's just an example of what still goes on, and how ridiculous it is that he would get an award for that.
Mm,
But anyway, so I'm writing a book. It's called Cariol's Law. And in one of the chapters, it's called Burn, Baby, Burn. And I'm only just going to read the, well, actually, I'm not going to even read it. I'll just tell you. You just imagine three houses in a row. You have the White House on the left, you have the Black House in the middle, and you have the Blue House on the right. And then the Black House catches on fire, and the Black House says, call the fire department. Middle houses matter. And then you have the White House say, what do you mean? Left houses matter. And then you have the Blue House say, what do you mean? Blue houses matter. Now, of course, we have the White House representing white conservative America, the Black House, Black America, and the Blue House represents law enforcement. So what happens in that parable is that they all burn up. Why? Because everybody wanted to put their differences, rather than put their differences aside, they wanted to say why, instead of helping, um, why they shouldn't. Um, so the White House, of course, says White House, not White Houses matter, but left houses matter. In response to like all lives matter, reaction to the Black Lives Matter, a refusal to acknowledge the disproportionate suffering of Black people. And the Blue Houses, of course, it represents the policing institution and it's in alignment with maintaining order. But they basically want people to look at police officers as being victims. And it's like, if you think that you're a victim, you shouldn't take the job because the job is going to come with risk. We all know that. But a lot of times, the risk is how they create the scenario. They actually escalate the scenario in a lot of cases. Um, in my case, of course, they basically made it seem as if I was the problem because I, number one, stopped it. Neil Mack still's living today. He's not a victim like George Floyd. Um, but they wanted me to feel like all of the work that I've done all of these years means nothing. So in 2022, I got arrested on Christmas because black
Wait,
cops.
wait, 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 Sister Cariol, hold
Hmm?
on, hold on. I gotta get you to give us some more detail.
Okay.
Talk about what happened when you tried to get your then colleague to stop choking a black man who was in handcuffs. When you said to him stop, and then take it from there. What happened after that to you as a black female officer?
Well, I grabbed his arm from around his neck. That's all I did. And then he punched me in the face. And then two officers pulled me back and ripped my rotator cuff. So, yeah, I was walking around with a sling because I had to have surgery, rotator cuff surgery. But
Mm,
the point is that, they all got together, even the lieutenant. The lieutenant was actually one of the first people on scene who barged into Neil Mack's house. By the way, all of Neil Mack's charges were dismissed.
mm,
So out of that whole situation, I was the only one that came out with any backlash.
mm. And what was the backlash, sister? What did they do to you, and what did you have to fight for?
I lost my pension, and I had to fight for that. And after the law came out, then the governor basically made a law for me to get my pension. So I am able to get my pension now. I never received the back pay from the city. I did receive back pay from the state. But the back pay from the city is being held up because that officer sued me for defamation. And I never lied about anything. He actually wound up going to jail for 4 months because he he basically abused four young black males. This is after the 2006 incident. And he only got 4 months. for civil rights violations where he took a plea. But he did more than that. He choked a white officer while on duty, fought another one off duty, DWI. It's just like he did a lot of things. And even though everything shows that I didn't lie, he's basically going to get my back pay from the city because I didn't show up for court. And I didn't show up for court because the attorney I had at the time did not tell me that I had court.
Brothers and sisters, you're listening to Sister Cariol Horne, who 20 years served on the Buffalo, New York Police Department. She literally stopped a white cop from choking a black handcuffed suspect. But there's more. Sister Cariol, well, let's stop right there because I'm going to come back to you and I want you to keep going because there's a lot to her story. There's a lot to it, no doubt about it. Let's see. Okay, I thought somebody had wanted to speak. Let's go. Brother James, you got any question or anything for Sister Cariol before we move on to our next presenter?
I mean, I got a bunch, but we can wait till after the presenter and the next presenter, and then I guess talk to both of them.
Very good. And then, of course, if anybody wants to speak, let me know, and we'll put you in a queue to speak. Again, thank you. You're listening to Straight Words with Black Strong, unapologetically pro Farrakhan. We represent independent Black media. Our mission is to bring light, life, and power to our people and to continue to fight for our true liberation and for media that empowers us. Reverend Sister Corinne Mack, the floor is yours. Please go ahead. Sister Corinne? And we're talking about cops and Black women.
Can you hear me?
Not, yes, ma'am. Go right ahead.
Okay,
the
great.
floor is yours.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, are we having technical difficulty? Sister Corinne, we cannot hear you.
You still can't hear me?
We can hear you now. Go right ahead.
Okay, so I wanted to give honor to Sister Cariol first before I go on to speak about the complex reality of unsafe conditions for Black women as a whole. That goes back prior to 1619, but we're going to talk about 1619 because that was beginning of the level of abuse of Black women in a systemic racist society. And unfortunately, when you look at the inception of policing, we know that it came from slave patrols.
Yeah.
And so to even believe that that particular system would ever treat us fairly or justly, in my mind, is just ridiculous. It's not going to happen.
Okay. Sister Corinne, you still speaking? Because we can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Sounds like she's got a issue.
Yeah, I don't know, Sister Corinne.
I'm here, but I don't know why I keep going out.
We
Can
can
you
hear
hear
you. I
me?
tell you what, why don't you exit the room and come back in?
Okay.
Let's see if we can get a little better,
Okay.
a little better, because we
Okay.
want to hear what you're saying. So with that, I want to go to another presenter, Uncle Bobby, to have him talk about this subject. Um, Uncle Bobby, please introduce yourself and get right into this subject. So I sent you an invite to speak, so you should be able to come right on in. Wait, did we lose Uncle Bobby?
I think we lost it.
Okay, so brothers and sisters, you were just listening to Cariol Horne. 20, yes ma'am, go right ahead.
To my point, I really want to talk about the intersexual harms of Black women specifically, especially at the hands of a system like policing because of the history of policing. And so when you look at how it was created and why it was created, it stands to reason that you would have white officers who would believe this okay first to handcuff someone and then choke them. It also would stand to reason that this white officer will believe that it's okay to punch a fellow officer in the face, especially a Black woman, because we're not seen as equals. And we know that in this country, Black women are the least safe. We are the most unsafe group of people. Because when I was talking about earlier, harms and violence come in so many different ways. It starts with socioeconomics, right? But then you think about, and that would include poverty, but then you have to think about all the different stereotypes that they have towards Black women. You should think about how Black women are either hypersexualized, or we get the stereotype of being too strong, therefore we need to be put in our place, or we have the negative connotation and stereotype of us being angry, so we need to be silenced. Those are all racial biases and ways to keep us in our place. But it's not just white women that do it. It's not just white men that do it. We also have to deal with the fact that some of our Black males, Black men, take on the same mindset of the white counterpart and begin to do us the same way, especially in a system like policing, because it's a position of authority, state sanctioned authority. And so we would see Black women specifically who take on the role of law enforcement be consistently harmed. When I think about the 4 Black women in Baltimore who had to sue because of their discrimination over and over again as police officers, or the 10 Black women.
Did we lose her again? Sister Corinne? I think no, I think we lost her again.
It's me again?
We lost her again.
You lose me again?
Yeah.
Oh
Now
boy.
you're back. But you were just getting ready to get into something.
Yeah. I was talking about the 4 Black women in Baltimore that sued because they were being discriminated against and brutalized. And then there was 10 Black women, police officers, who sued in Washington, D.C. So it you know, there's more to come. This is becoming normalized, that Black women who decide to go into law enforcement are going to be discriminated against, mistreated, shunned, and harmed. And so we need to do something about it now, because when you begin to normalize harm to any group of people, it never gets better, it always gets worse.
Right.
And I hope you were able to hear most of the context of what I was talking about.
Yeah. Were you finished?
Oh, yeah, for now, yes, because I really want to hear Sister Cariol. Her story is a powerful story of not only heroism, but also the impact of a system that really is not.
Hmm. Yeah, Corrine went out again.
Oh
There
boy,
you go. You're back.
a system that's not built. What I was saying is a system that was not built to keep us safe.
Yeah,
The system of policing was never built to keep us safe.
exactly. Okay, Barnaba?
Yeah,
Oh, oh, okay.
Sister Coriel, let's get back to you. You stop a black man from being choked, possibly being choked to death. You are assaulted by an officer who punches you. You're both Buffalo, New York police officers. Then you have other officers restrain you, leads to a rotator cuff injury. Then they lie on you
Yeah.
and they strip of your pension through fighting.
Mm,
You get it back, but they're still holding back money that's owed you, saying that you defamed someone who was convicted of the very crimes and actions that you were talking about, brothers and
hmm.
sisters. Look at this now. So I want you to take me from you got your pension back, and you were saying something about now you've also been and a strong, I would say, lack of a better word, an official advocate now that you've left the police force, but it's obvious you've been advocating for our people for a long time. Tell me a little bit about when you departed the police force. Did you found an organization? Did you join an organization? In addition to writing this law that was passed that says that Buffalo, New York police officers must listen to this now must intervene when they see something like another cop abusing, choking, beating um, a so-called suspect. So what happened now? Take me from you got your pension back, and you mentioned 2020.
Yeah, so in 2020, that's when Cariol's law was passed. 20, sorry,
It's okay.
2021, 2021. My son didn't make the best decision in life,
Hmm.
but he was charged with a murder that he didn't commit. Now I told you that the one officer went to jail for 5 months. I mean, for 4 months. He was indicted with two other officers. Those two officers got off, and one went on to become a homicide detective and went on to investigate my son, knowing that he didn't commit a homicide, but yet he was charged with it anyway. And now he's doing 18 years to life. He was only 16 years old. 18 years to life for a murder that he didn't do. So that's something else I have to work on now, along with being arrested myself. But that was in 2022. But then in 2021, also that's when I got my pension. Um, 2022, there was two black cops. This is after a horrible storm that we had. There was a guy that died in the snow down the street from where we were, and I was driving by because that morning it was so bad. The police had stopped taking calls. You call 911, you would get no response because um, the weather was so bad they couldn't go out in it. So anyway, it was a lot of us who were on a Facebook group. I forgot the name of it, but it basically was for the blizzard of 2022. Um, so you had people who were stuck, and we would see the message, and we would like, if we knew someone in that area, we would try to reach out to see if the people can go there. But sometimes we didn't know the people, so people were just opening themselves up if they did. Some people took in strangers. Some people died outside. Some people, just like the guy I was saying, died down the street from where we were. Well, anyway, during that night, the day of Christmas was the day that, well, the first day that we were able to go out after I think 3 days. So I had a truck with a plow. I had a generator because a lot of people lost power. I had a generator, snow blower, shovels, salt. So I went out. Well, after I got dug out because I was stuck. I went out and all day I was like helping people. Um, so that night, because it was Christmas, my son and his wife had made Christmas dinner. So I was going to pick up a plate, and then I was going to go home. So I was driving by. Well, first I was driving down the street and I saw this girl. I gave her a ride. And then I dropped her off, and then um, I was going to pick up the plate. Then I saw what I thought were children in the snow, and I basically went to get my phone so I could record it to say this is ridiculous. The cops got these people sitting in the snow when somebody just died down the street. That's what I was going to do. But I realized that the girl that I gave a ride to had stole my phone. So I said, well, it'll only take me a second to get out and, tell him to get him up or whatever. So I got out. And then he approached me politely. I approached him politely. But he went from 0 to 100 like real quick. I was like, I know these people were probably. And then he said, no, like telling me to go. But my concern was for the people who I thought were children. It was two women, though. And I know that they have been stealing because I've said I know that these people were probably wrong. But before I could say anything else, he's just telling me to leave because they feel that you're not supposed to tell them when they're wrong. And anyway, I wound up getting locked up because I wouldn't leave. I wasn't going to leave until they got him up because I didn't know how long they had been down there. And I just
And
got
when you say down there, you mean down in the snow. I'm sure freezing
sitting,
temperatures
sitting handcuffed
in Buffalo,
in Buffalo,
middle
sitting
of a blizzard and
handcuffed,
snowstorm.
wrapped in frigid temperatures in the cold, icy snow. They had these people sitting down, and they forced them to sit down.
Mm,
They forced them because the girl didn't want to sit down. He told her that basically, if she didn't get down, he was going to put her down. So anyway, so then they wind up throwing me in the snow
mm,
and locking me up. But they put me in a police car. Those people had been in the snow for 10 minutes total.
mm,
And then after that, they were standing for another 17 because, when other cops started coming, they had got them up. And then they were like, oh, the guy said, oh, she put her hands on me. The cop says, she put her hands on me, which I did. But I was knocking his hand down because he was pushing me. And I didn't want him to knock me on the ground. I wasn't under arrest. So cops just can't put their hands on people when they're not under arrest. But once they put their hands on you, they're supposed to lock you up. But there was no reason for him to put his hands on me. And after he threw me down, he told me she was like basically to leave. Like he was giving me another chance. But by this time, I'm mad now, so I started cussing up a storm. I'm sorry. But I did. I started cussing up a storm because I was thinking, why would you do that? And I didn't even say nothing wrong to you.
mm.
So then afterwards, then a lot of other cops came, and then I guess some of them realized who I was. And then like this white cop, he saw my face, and he was like, "Oh, F." I just say F. Like he knew that I wasn't just gonna let it go. So either way it goes, then the prosecutor basically makes it seem as if I just do stuff for attention. Like I just said, "Oh, look at those people on the ground. That'll get me on the news." Thinking like, what? That is not what it is. The attention comes to change, not because of somebody's horrible situation. So anyway, the jury they didn't find me. It was 3 charges, and then they found me guilty of obstruction. And my attorney is making the argument that if you didn't find me guilty of harassment, you can't find me guilty of obstruction because it holds the same um, elements, which is basically physical force. And I didn't use physical force to try to get those people up. I didn't use physical force to try to harm him. The only thing I did was knock his hand down when he was pushing me. And that was out of instinct. I had the same training he had.
Mm-hmm.
So he wasn't going to let somebody come and push him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So again, brothers and sisters, you're listening to Sister Cariol Horne, 20-year veteran of policing in Buffalo, New York. She is sharing with us more and more of her stories. So, Brother James, why don't you get in? Then we'll come to Uncle Bobby, then Sister Tamora, Sharif Muhammad. And if any of you would like to get into the discussion, let me know and we'll pass you the mic. Brother
Yes,
James?
sir. No, yes, sir. Thank you, Brother Naba. I mean, first of all, I'd like to commend Sister Carriel for her work on the law that she got passed in her name. Thank Allah for that, because it shows that, I mean, that's a solution. And that's what we need more than a lot of other things as solutions to these issues we're facing. And I'm very happy she's got her pension back, but she needs to, and I know she will continue to fight for the other things that she unjustly lost. But Sister Carriol, uh, like right now in 2025, two questions that crossed my mind. Number one, as a police force back in the day, and as you may recall, in Chicago, there were you had the FOP, but you also had like the Black Patrolmen's League that saw a need for Black officers to come together and fight for certain things, injustices uh, that were in existence at that time, and unfortunately, many of them still are. But for the force that you were on, was there anything like that, or even today, is there any type of cohesive, unifying organization of that Black officers have formed to address some of the issues that are occurring in these forces against Black officers and Black women, particularly?
Now, the Black Afro American Police Association here, which is AA, wait, whatever. I was about to say AAPA, whatever it is. They didn't back me.
Wow.
They actually made a statement that they weren't backing me, because the thing about it is that I started speaking out against Black officers too, who were literally killing people. So they promote the gatekeepers. They get in trouble. They get promoted, and now um, they're there to cover up whatever whatever is going on. The cover ups continue. Um, my children have gone through. I have five of them. Have gone through a lot, and like even for my youngest son, the one who's locked up for a murder he didn't commit. He's gone on to write 6 books. One of them just got published, and along with other things that he's done, like getting his high school diploma, getting taking college classes. Um, these are things that you just don't really do that you don't do if you're just such a bad person. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he's only been locked up 3 years, and he's accomplished all of these things, as well as getting his barbering. Um, bar, he's a New York State certified barber. Um,
Yeah, a
and he
barber.
has his OSHA. Yeah, has his OSHA, and then they put him in a jail now to where they don't have those programs. So I guess he was
Mm-hmm.
doing too much too quick,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
but he's still going on to write. So he's working on his 7th book now. But I told him it's not what they say about you, it's what you answer to.
Let me
So
ask you.
basically,
Mhm. I'm sorry. I thought. Go ahead.
no. So basically, just keep your head on straight.
Mhm.
Don't worry about what nobody do, because you're gonna go in there. You're gonna find good people. You're gonna find bad people,
Mhm.
and just avoid the bad people at all costs. And that's what he does.
Yeah. Um. So in your case, it was a we always talk about the blue wall of silence, but in your case, it was blue on blue. I'm curious though, although it was also black and
Well, it's
white.
called the blue wall of silence because I wasn't supposed to say anything. I was supposed to go along with what they wanted me to.
Yeah, but but yeah, because you were offended though. I guess what I was going to ask, and will ask, the the officers, the white officer, had it been another, let's just say the same situation, but a white male officer intervened and knocked the guy's arm off, the stop the brother from the brother from getting choked. The white officer then goes to the superiors to report that. Just curious, how would that have played out in your mind?
Well, if a white officer went and
If
reported it,
if you were a white male officer and did exactly the same thing that you did, and then reported it, what would the how would that have played out?
well, at this point, it's not really about whether the officer is black or white. Because, like I
Okay.
said, in that case, the officers were, I mean, in the case of December of Christmas 2022, the officers were black. They only want to keep the status quo. They don't care about color no more. Not
Mm-hmm.
that they really cared about color before, because as long as you kept your mouth shut, you were cool. I call it the Gaga gang, the go along to get along gang.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, if you're going to be part of the Gaga gang, whether it's police officers, whether it's DAs, whether it's judges, then you're cool.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as you speak up about it, then you have issues. Look at what
Mm-hmm.
the president is doing.
No, I was going to ask about the president actually, for you and Sister Corrine, in terms of the atmosphere that Trump is creating now. I was going to ask, what are some of your
He's
thoughts?
he's creating a atmosphere where we need to be armed. We need
Mm.
to be able to protect ourselves, our families, and our communities because the
You
police have
mean black
already been.
people? You mean black people need to be armed? Is that what you're
I
saying?
mean, well,
When you say we
black
need to be
people.
armed, I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
didn't catch.
definitely black people, but people, period.
Okay.
Because, like when I gave the analogy of the houses, you got the three houses, but then yet the black one is burning, but nobody wants to do anything, so they all burn. So that's where we are right now. We're all burning.
Mm-hmm.
So the point is, when he unleashes the police, just like at what was it, the January 6th insurrection, those people showed us what we can do. Just like President Trump went and pardoned them, that's what we can do as a people if our government comes against us. But we don't do it because whenever one of our kids or something gets caught with a gun, they say illegal weapon, illegal weapon. What's the difference between an illegal weapon and a legal weapon? A piece of paper. So we need to take this firearms training, and we need to be able to protect ourselves because they're using the police against us.
So this is Reverend Mac. I think where we may differ in position is, I don't think that Trump is creating anything. I think it was always there. I think his rhetoric has just allowed people to be their true selves.
Well, that's true.
Um,
That's true. But
yeah.
he's allowing police officers to literally get away with murder, and that
Well, I'm gonna go. I'm
he
gonna.
took some of
Yeah, but I'm
the
gonna go a step
protections
further.
away.
Sis.
He took some of the protections away.
He did. He did. But I want to go a little deeper because we're talking about a man who studied Hitler. Okay. Now he's not that bright. Everybody knows he's not the brightest light in the ceiling. But he glorifies Hitler. He adores Hitler. The 1940s and hit in Germany is exactly what he's trying to replicate here in this country. And what boggles my mind is that you have all of these politicians who are holding their hands, standing around like they don't see what I can see. That's clear as day that he wants to be he wants an autocratic uh, system in this country. He wants to be a dictator. He wants to be king. It's just that simple. And so he's dismantling any possible pushback, whether it's DOJ or FBI or anyone else. He's dismantling any system that could question him. He's undermining even the Supreme Court. So there's no longer three arms of government. It's just him. He controls everything.
That's why we need
So
to
he's
get
already
armed.
putting in place.
Go ahead, Sis Kareem. Did we lose her?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I was saying that's
No.
why we have to get armed.
Oh, okay. Because I know her phone.
Yeah, we have to.
Okay, go ahead.
I go to the range. I have a permit, the concealed carry permit. So I absolutely agree that I believe that we need to not only get armed but be prepared. Learn how to hunt, know how to fish, know how to build. I think that we need to be self-sustainable. I don't think anybody's going to save us but us. We have to save ourselves. But I think one of the biggest issues we have as Black people, because I want to talk about Black people, that's what I'm talking about right now, is that we have to first understand who we are. We've been so inundated with this white culture, and there's so many Black people who are white-leaning, white-loving, that the minute we have a conversation like this, they come right in and start defending. Now, I'm not saying there aren't decent white people, because there are decent white people, just like there.
Oh, man.
That's not what this conversation is about. This conversation is about how do we protect our own, because every other culture protects their own. We are the only culture that's been so brutalized and so beaten and downtrodden that we have levels of self-hatred that must be addressed. Even when you talk about policing, the reason why Black cops are killing Black people is because there's a level of self-hatred and the need to be accepted by their white counterparts, that they are more brutal towards us than anybody, oftentimes.
Yeah.
And we don't talk about that enough. How do we break that cycle and get back to who we are as a people, which is very loving? We believe in community. We've lost all those beliefs, all those values. We've got to.
Yes. Yes, sir. Hey, I think we lost her again, but brother BJ.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. No, Sister Corinne, we had lost you for a minute, so I didn't know if you were finished.
No, I was just simply saying that we need to get back to who we are, how we were very communal in thinking. We were very unified in thinking. We were very loving in thinking towards one another. We have to get back to that way of life, that value of life.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Well, we lost a lot of that. Brother BJ, I think we're coming up on a break.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're gonna go to a break. We still got Uncle Bobby. We got to hear from him. We got Sister Cariol Horne on the show with us tonight, brothers and sisters. Former Buffalo police officer who was driven off the police force for protecting a Black man who was handcuffed, protecting him from police abuse. Reverend Corinne Mack is here. She's from the Charlotte NAACP, the leader of that organization, a truth teller in her community. And we're going to hear from Sister Beatrice X as well, Auntie B. She's coming up as well, y'all. So stick around. We're going to take this quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Straight Words on Twitter Spaces right here on the Straight Words radio program. Go to our website, straightwords.com. History at AfricanWorldArt.com. Are you seeking a unique and meaningful gift, or do you just want to come celebrate the richness of the Black diaspora? Our online gallery is the place for you with a wide selection of paintings, sculptures, prints, posters, and more. Journey